8-year veteran with the United States Navy. He served in all capacities of the Sheriff's Office from the jail on up. He currently serves as Lieutenant of the Court Services Division that manages the court holding and the civil process and all the courthouse security for Judge Baker. He served at several different levels with our Special Operations team within the Sheriff's Office. He currently serves as our accreditation manager for the Warren County Sheriff's Office and as my camp director for our Sheriff's Youth. The program today is all about a quick version of our Sheriff's Youth Camp and an overview of what we've been doing over the past more than a decade. So with that, I should
Thank you, Sheriff. Is it? Can you see that? It looks blurry from here.
It looks like from back here.
From back there, yeah.
Let's turn the light off out there.
That's good.
That's good? Is it?
Yeah. You need to be that way.
Say again?
You need to be over this way.
This way? Okay. How about up this way?
That's good.
That better?
You got it.
I'm not sure if I got too much, too little, but this camp is dear to me. This is the Sheriff's Office 14th year of Sheriff's Summer Youth Camp. And in the past 13 years, we've had 432 campers go through our camp. How did we get started? That man back here. In 2003, when Sheriff McKeither was running for sheriff, he had a vision of doing a youth camp. In 2004 is when it started. The first year of youth camp was a day camp out at the fairgrounds. Parents would bring them every day, pick them up in the evening. Since that point, we hooked up with 4-H Center, and it's been a blessing. Overnight camp. We have 4.5 days with these campers, and throughout the 4.5 days, they do all kinds of activity. We, at parents meeting, which I have coming up next month for the upcoming camp, some of the eyes, it's real bright for the campers when I tell them we get up reveille's at 4 o'clock in the morning. And then I go, no, I'm just kidding. They usually get up around, we get them up around 7 in the morning. They don't hit the rack until probably around 10 o'clock at night. All day long. We've got stuff for them to do. I like this. This came off of the 4-H staff, little flyer they had. I thought that was a neat quote, because you have to have something organized to have it, the objective done. So we do have one. Of course, we have a camp director, an assistant director, and we have 4 counselors. All of them are Sheriff's Office deputies. Each counselor has 10 campers. So our max we can have is 40 campers. And then we split them up to deer and elk group. Because some of the activities is just too many to do it all at one time. So we split them up depending on the program. The eligibility for the applications, we hit the area of 5th through 7th grade. We think is a perfect age for law enforcement and the youth. Applications are put out. I put them out every January to all the schools that's got 5th through 7th graders on. You know, it's on our website, or you can pick them up. I've got emails. I've sent them out. And I get applications from the public schools, private, home schools. Now the process for picking the 40 campers I don't know their financial background. I don't know what they do, and I don't care. It's all about the camper. It's about that kid. Last year, this is my 8th year being the director. Last year was the first year that I actually had 40, I call it newbies, new campers that came on board. Prior to that, I would get 35, 36 new campers, and I'd fill in the spots with return campers. They want to come back. Right now, I got 15 applications from return campers that wants to come back. I got 39 newbies right now. I'm working on 40. I dropped the application off last night at the house of a parent who also informed me about another child who's being grown up by his grandparents because of parental issues. And he thought that'd be a great camp. So I'm hoping they get those apps, because to me that's the determination that I want to do for our core objectives in this camp. It is no cost to a parent at all. None. Completely donations for the last 14 years. We give them an opportunity. We require physicals. We give them an opportunity for a free physical. We hooked up with Dr. Brad's office, and they do this at the time frame that they do the school athletic free physicals for the upcoming year. We can join with them, and the campers can go and do that. But if it wasn't for the businesses, organizations, lodges, private owners, it'd be tough. But we get through it every year, and it works. So, this is just a rough estimate. This is what it costs. 4-H has been generous to try to keep us low, but this year they've gone up. 190 last year, and a few previous years per camper. Now they've gone up to 215. So this is just a rough. So you ask, accommodations is the most thing, because they really support us with the rooms, the food. So where does this go? Our main goal is to bond our law enforcement with our youth. You have to, especially today. Get them when they're young. I was talking to somebody earlier. My wife and I were at Crackle Barrel, and this little kid came up to us and said, "Do you remember me?" And I'm looking at him going, "Sheriff's camp?" He goes, "Yes." It was a few years. I was his counselor at that point. So we talked, and his mom thanked us again for doing this. But this is the goal. Because once they leave this camp, I want to see them down the street going, "Hello, Mr. Fogle!" These counselors that are their mom and dad for the day are with them 24/7. And I'll show you where we stay at up at the 4-H Center. It's good exercise where we're staying at. Our core objective, there's goals, objectives that we want to do. And one of them is teamwork. Sheriff's office has to have a teamwork. You have to make sure that person's got your six behind you. We want to imply that to our camp. We want them to know that, hey, you're a group. Work together as a group. Self-confidence, I love this one, especially at high roads, where I encourage you. We don't push a child to do anything, but we really do encourage them. And when I go down that into the wooded area for the high roads, I encourage the ones that are sitting there going, "I'm afraid of heights." And I'll sit down right beside that camper and ask them, "Do me a favor. Get on that one rung. Get on that one rung on that ladder, and you're done." Okay, they go up 2 or 3 more. But that self-confidence to get past that and do that. And at one point, maybe they'll do something else and go higher. Leadership, we split them up in groups. So at some points, we ask them, "Hey, we need pick somebody that's going to lead this group, who's going to talk about what you just did." Trust and respect, the main thing. because I put these campers in their rooms. I try to buddy them up at parents' night. There's a certain place on a form that I ask them, if you want to room with somebody, put it, and I'll try my best. There are times that you're with somebody, you don't know who they are. So you got to trust and respect them. You got to trust and respect them on the canoe trip. We'll talk about that in a little bit. You got to trust and respect them that when you're going up that ladder, that your safety people underneath you are there to get you if you fall. But you don't have to worry about it because 4-H got you all hooked up with ropes. Physical challenges. They've got all kinds of challenges that make you think, make you move. You've got 2 logs. There's about 5 or 6 of you on the log. How do you get them all over without falling off the log into the lake or alligator swamp or whatever they're So it's thinking how they do it. They pick the whole log up and move it. But they got to go point A all the way over to point B with 2 logs. So they have to pick them up, take them over. It's pretty neat. Communications. We talk. We got to talk. You got to talk. My clue is the ones that are quiet. Oh, you're mine. You're mine. And so we will talk to them, give them the thought process that says, hey, I can communicate. I got ideas. I can receive ideas. Cooperation. That's the main thing. There's this thing I teach them right off of day 1, and boy, does it work. I tell them, when I holler explosion, you holler boom, and I want complete silence. We have to practice that a couple times. But it works. Especially at banquet night when I do it. And I tell the parents, you're welcome to use that if you want at your house. I'm not sure if it's going to work, but you can use it. But just try to cooperate with what we're doing. And the instructors that we have come up and the demos. And I'm going to show you something else in a little bit. This is where we stay at Congressman, at the 4-H Center. This is all the way to the top. So guess where the activities are? And if you're familiar with the 4-H Center and you know where the range is, oh, that's all the way down the bottom across the road. So they go up and they go down. But I've got it structured where if they come down, that's where some of their activities are, unless they got to split up. And then they got to go to different places, and then they all come back together. But what you're going to see at Congressman, what I like about Congressman, and we've had this most of the time, it's 2 levels. We got all the guys downstairs, all the girls upstairs. We've got the 4 counselors. All us males are downstairs, girls are upstairs. And once you leave your group and you go to your room, now this is the part of teamwork for us, is now your camper is my camper for the night. Now, do we have to go out on the balcony a couple times and look up to the girls and go, nah, don't do that. Yes. What you're going to see is just some highlights of what we do. The logistics to get this thing together is unbelievable. Just Deputy Burke, that's my assistant, she handles everything for prepping us for the food, donations. I take care of all the logistics on the admin side. Costco, wonderful. Been helping us for years. And I'm going to show you a few of the things that they do, from registration to where they sleep. Believe me, those rooms don't look like that once they get there. Believe me. We have canine demos. They do a nature hike. Now, I stopped it here at crime scene. For 3 days, they are camper crime scene investigators. So what do? Lieutenant Foster heads this up. And he trashes the 4-H Center's library into 4 different crime scenes. So the objective of this is for the campers to find out who did this. The first night, part of this program, they go around trying to collect evidence. They learn what would somebody do, what would they use. They get a chance to use the black light. That is pretty neat, especially when the campers are wearing neon shoe strings. Oh yeah, that really flashes up. So they all get together. That one person's got to log what they got. One person collects it. One person bags it. So they're trying to figure out who did this. Part of the program is Lieutenant Foster for the next day. So what do you do with that? So he teaches them, okay, is there a print on that can? What does your print look like? So they get to fingerprint themselves. And I mean sometimes they fingerprint themselves. So you can't have a crime without suspects. So 4-H Center, and of course I like to role play a little bit too, is our suspects. So on the last night of the crime scene, they have to interview. So they come up with a little push from Lieutenant Foster. What type of questions? One thing he does do is the suspect will get them to put a footprint outside. Lieutenant Foster will take them out and show them how we cast a footprint. So he will bring that footprint in, and I'm sitting there thinking, ask about your shoes, ask about your shoes. You know? So he's pushing it to get them to the point where they can find out who did it. So they'll ask questions.
I think I see the guilty part.
Now that wasn't me, I was looking for a ship. So they asked all kinds of questions, and he's trying to narrow it down. Sometimes they go way off of what they're there for. And then they finally figure out who the bad guy is. So it's a good training thing and a good program that we have on this. And then this is what we call the challenge courses. That's the high ropes. And I'm not sure if you're familiar with the high ropes. But at 4-H Center, they got to go from tree to tree on a single line. They got safety on it. But once they get up to the last tree, they get to zip line down. Now, I'm going to stop right here for a second. Just to talk about this canoe trip. Move this out of the way. There's a tradition on this canoe trip that when the sheriff comes down, he does not stay dry. So last year, it got spoiled. Not that I was encouraging them, but I was telling them about the tradition. We're at the, was it at the beginning or afterwards? It was at the beginning. We're getting ready to launch. One camper comes up to somebody, namely the sheriff, and says, "Who are we supposed to tip over?"
I said, not me.
Well, believe me, the sheriff and majors usually comes down last. They're the trailers. Sometimes they end up, they're usually in a canoe by themselves, but sometimes they end up with a camper in each canoe because sometimes you've got to let them know your boat can't or on the same side. Work. But the river trip is just awesome. Totally awesome. And we've got everything covered. From lifeguards and EMTs from 4-H going down with us. There's about 6, 7, 8 of us going down. And we're all split out to keep an eye on them. But the best part is at the end where his canoe rolled over. And they just have a good time on it. We had special ops demo. Believe me, you don't want that dog chasing. That's why he has to wear that sleeve. And of course they do the shooting range. They get to go fishing. Now you're going to see something, I don't know why these campers do it, but they want to kiss the fish. So they kiss the fish. I have no clue. I said, you do that, I'll take photos. And speaking of photos, prior to me taking over as director, the campers always at banquet time would tell the parents what they did. And I said, now we got to change this up. So I am constantly taking photos of everything during that entire time. And basically doing the same thing at banquet. So the parents can watch what their camper did for that week. Oops. Meals? They eat. Oh yeah, they eat. But I'm going to tell you, these photos were choreographed by me because their plates do not look like that. But they get wonderful meals from the 4-H Center. They're healthy. We get bag lunches from them when we do river trips. But then we also, not so healthy, with the help of McDonald's and Burger King, Subway. So we get them a little extra, and that's what I'm saying. They also get bag lunches, they get these extra too, so they get plenty of food. They get ice cream. Fair. This is the best part that I really, really like. Our camp has got with 3 different agencies to even a little bit more education. One of them is SCBI. We got with them probably about 5 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, when I got a call from Customs, where we usually go, who said, hey, we're not available that date, that you've got to set 6 months from now. So, okay, I got to find something else. But I know a contact here, and their program is awesome. Like I said, we split them up in groups. So at SCBI, they teach you what they do up there. So half the group will stay inside, the other half group will go out. They have different activities every year. The Compass one I really like. But this last year, they got these skulls, and they were teaching them about what the animal is, what it eats, trying to identify teeth. While the other half go out and they get to see the animals. Has anybody been up there? The CBI took a tour? Awesome. We also go to Andy Park. This is right after our river trip, so they can stay in their swim gear, because we go back in the river. They have a nice program. They did this one different last year. The year before it was the OWL program. But this year they went back into there was a creek that goes out into the river. And they actually get the nets out, they learn, they try to capture things that are in the water. What's out there? So they're netting, they're rolling over rocks in the water, and they learn about the species that are out there. I didn't know some of them were out there.